What is going on, everyone out there in our MNC Hoops world? We're so thankful to be back live with you yet again for another episode. Uh, Chopping it up with CJ, of course, up in New York. I'm down here in Kentucky, as you can hear by my accent. If you haven't picked up on it yet, yes, I'm a hillbilly. It happens, but we still love basketball. Before we get going into the NBA and some of the great stuff that's been going on for week two, we just basically finishing up here. I want to get to you, CJ, and see how you've been doing, sir.
It's good, bro. I'm doing well. Jam-packed week. A lot of basketball, some really good games going on. So it's been exciting. It's been exciting. This first few weeks of the NBA, viewership is up. A lot of things going on right now in the league. So it's good. It's going good. So you changed up the room, you said?
Yeah, we've been quote remodeling, I guess you could say. We've had a couch since of course I don't know if you know this, but we had a house fire once, and it's probably been 9-10 years ago, and we lost everything inside of our house. So anyways, we got a new couch and everything back then, and it's been the same one through all of our kids, and they're 8 and 9 now, so it's seen better days. But we found actually a family that was in need and needed a couch, so we said, hey, come get this one. And we got rid of a couch and a love seat to some people who needed it, and we moved my furniture in my man room downstairs, which is a little sentimental, so I'm glad we're keeping it on, make it into our living room now, because it's a couch that I've basically inherited from my mom, who passed away now, of course, and keeping it going, I guess, here. So now it's in our living room, and of course, we had to rearrange in here a bit, so it's a different angle I got going on here, a different side of my Kentucky stuff, but it's gonna look good, I guess you could say. You never know how much dirt you have underneath the couch until you move it. It's crazy what gets there.
Yeah. doing some cleaning, definitely. You'd be surprised by what's under there. But are you ready to get this started, bro?
Yes, sir. I guess you could say we're getting ready for the Christmas trees and stuff to come out, but we don't do that until after Thanksgiving.
Yeah. But how we used to do it was like around after Thanksgiving, start to put the tree up, get the ornaments put up and everything, and then like that last week before Christmas, that's when you start to see it. You see a couple of gifts underneath the tree, amped up hype before Christmas Day. Good vibes, classic days.
I got you. That's and I know we're about to get into it. And this is Christmas talk that we're getting into, but of course I'm the youngest of 4 total, and we were so bad at getting into those presents when they were under the tree that my mom ended up having to number them and keeping her own little cheat note to know which number went to what child, so we couldn't peek. So yeah, we were pretty bad and good at rewrap them. So one of those tricks in case you need it, guys. If your kids are getting into the presents, you can always put numbers on them and keep that sheet going on. But CJ, talking about keeping numbers, if you guys have not been keeping up with the East and who's in first place right now, we need to talk about that, don't we? So let's just go ahead and bring up our first topic we got going on. Detroit Pistons are your number 1 team in the East at 7-2 record. Of course, the Cavaliers are just 1 game, I think half a game back maybe, but they've won 5 in a row, I think it is, for the Pistons. And let's see here, you got this pulled up here. Yeah, Pistons, actually Bulls are in second. I apologize. And then Cleveland 3rd, Milwaukee 4, your Knicks at 5 has been going on a winning streak. And then running out at 6th place is the Philadelphia. I about said Phillies, but it's the 76ers. So we've talked about this team for a while now. We've talked about the growth that we've had, 3 years ago, maybe 5 wins, it seems like. And then we move on, 27 straight losses anyways. And then we had a growing year last year where we've seen stuff turning around, seen the veterans coming in, Cade growing as well. And now we come to this year, and they're in first place. And of course, it's 9 games in, but what's your thoughts on this so far?
It's great. I think it's great. It's great for the city. It's great for the fans. There's so many years where they had a lot of losing basketball. Those fans paying their hard-earned money to go watch the Pistons play, and the results were always disappointing. Failed with a lot of draft picks. Were really unsuccessful in acquiring the right guys, and not even just there might have been some players that might have been talented, but they weren't the guys that were going to transform the franchise, bring it back to what it used to be for the early 2000s when they had Richard Hamilton, Billups, Tayshaun Prince, Wallace, Rasheed Wallace, and Ben Wallace, and then of course the 80s with Isaiah, Dumars, Lambeer. So that they were missing that pretty much from 2010 up until Cade getting drafted. Like it was really just mediocre or terrible. That's really what it was for the Pistons. So now when you bring in someone like Cade Cunningham, former number one overall pick, and he accepts the challenge of transforming the franchise and bringing it to prominence and then bringing some winning basketball. And that's what you need. You need one of those players to do that. And they found it with Cunningham. And I mean, he's already put himself in a position as one of the best players in the league, 3-level scorer, the three-point percentage isn't the highest, but it's going to get better. Mid-range, going to the basket. He's about as good as anybody right now, 6'8", so you really can't put any type of defender on him. If you put a taller guy, he's going to use his speed. Smaller guy for quickness, he's going to use his height and post-up ability. The playmaking, top playmaker in the league right now. Easy assists, can see over the defense, can see whatever the defense is doing. There's really nothing that a coverage that he can't see and crack, because now with the scoring ability, now he's scoring more. That just invites doubles, so he knows what to do when it's 2 guarding 1. And it's scary. It's scary. The more great players you put around him, the more successful they're going to be. This is their renaissance, I would say, for this era, and I think it's great going into the 2020s with the Detroit Pistons being a force, a premier team in the Eastern Conference. I think it's great. Like I said, it's great for the league. It's great for those fans. And it's not just Cade. They did a really good job building around him outside of that year that you talked about when they lost 28 in a row. And bring Tobias back, a veteran, former Piston. Jalen Duren is having a career year right now. Extension looming, you would hope, between both parties. It's really everything is going into place. You would hope when Jaden Ivey comes back, could be the missing piece, could be that player that maybe they didn't have last year, that could have helped them get past New York. That could be a factor this season. JB Bickerstaff going from Cleveland to Detroit, getting another opportunity right away. People thought it would take a long time. It took 2 years. It took a year or so. And you got to build your culture. You got to build your identity. And with the head coach and the guys up front in the front office, when they have the same mindset and the same direction, this is what you get right now. So small market team. And when you have these small market teams, especially in the East, the East has been heavily criticized over the last, I would say maybe like around 15 years or so. It hasn't been to the level of the Western Conference. So there's been some good seasons here and there. They've had some good teams in the East, but competitively, like the amount of consecutive 50-win teams we would see in the West over, every single season, Hall of Famers on different teams in the West, it just wasn't the same for a time period in the East. It took a while. Now you're starting to see you see Giannis and Embiid, Maxey is in that for Brunson, Knicks is up, Kaz is up. Talking about the Pistons now, Chicago, Giddey. It's just like you're starting to see those blue blood Eastern Conference teams. Pacers were just in Eastern Conference Finals. They won the East. These blue blood Eastern Conference teams that we grew up watching, that we grew up knowing, are now playing winning basketball. It's great for the league. It's great for the league, and the viewership is going to go up because of that.
Yeah, of course, me living in Harlan County, Kentucky, which you probably never heard of, but Bickerstaff is actually, his dad is from here. There's actually a street name after him 15 miles down the road, basically 3 miles from where I work. So I'm really hoping that I can find a connection there that may actually still know them, that we can try to get one of them on here at some point. But yeah, so I'm a huge fan of him, and of course, and his father, and just what they've been doing. Glad that he really turned Pistons around, because if I look back, I think Pistons was almost how we were feeling coming on. Like, we believed in the Pelicans so much with the talent that they had coming on. Like, okay, this team's going to make some noise. They're going to be there. And then, they took the beating like we talked about already, and then, licked their wounds, and they have their leadership. They have their superstar, and they're still not full strength. So it could be fun to see if this team stays hot, because we've talked about, the Celtics are not the Celtics of last year. The 76ers don't really seem to have it together, we didn't think, but of course they're playing pretty well now that the season has started. Miami isn't with Butler. So, I mean, the East, I'm making this long, but the East could be anyone's East, even the Knicks, who we thought might be 1, 2, or 3, is, having a slow start now, starting to come around. So, yeah, kudos to the Pistons coming out hot. Hopefully they can keep it hot. And I mean, you can't really think of NBA without a few teams that you really think of, and Pistons is one of those franchises that you do think about with the NBA. So it's good to have them back. We ready to go to the next topic? It's just, again, my daughter said that I had to at least show you this, but, as we bring this up, as, got a little immaculate of De'Aaron Fox signature with Kentucky. She said, "Dad, you got to show that card." I said, "Okay, we will, because we're going to talk about it." So, of course, he's dropping 23 points in his debut for this season with the Spurs. CJ's already got it up here, 24 points, actually, 3 assists and 3 rebounds. So, great debut for the Fox. And the Spurs really just got better than what they already are showing so far. So, I know you're about to fix that, and I was about to ask you how you think it's going, but I think this helps Wemby so much, because this is his first game. I don't know how many minutes he played, but I'm sure it was somewhat of a limited, maybe 23, 25 at the most. Having your fast point guard, who is Mr. Clutch 2 years prior, coming in leading that break where you got Wemby trailing off of a rebound, kicks it out. Fox takes it up so fast, doesn't have anything. Wemby trails. That's just going to be basically chicken as he gets a lob coming up there. So really excited to see how the Spurs continue to grow with their chemistry here. Not only that, is they haven't won anything yet, but seeing the domination that's went on so far, like, you can see what's about to happen, I guess. We're about to really see this team form to be a superior team in the West for years to come, in my opinion. I might be reaching a little bit too early, but Wemby is definitely going to be a franchise player for sure. If not, you can call him a generational player already. So happy for De'Aaron Fox. Glad he got away from Sacramento. Oh my goodness, that dumpster fire. But great season debut, 24 points. Welcome to the show again, and let's watch him grow here.
Yeah, he's the missing piece. They had a little lost a couple games. They're still second in the West right now as it stands today. But yeah, they took a little. They had like a loss to the Lakers. It's just where you need a player like Fox. Shot clock is low. He's someone that can get to a bucket, go to the basket, get to the free throw line, slow the game down. Doesn't wear it, because you started to see Portland. Portland did a really good job against Wembanyama, and people were saying, listen, that could be the blueprint, and to stopping him, they were really getting him off his spot. They wouldn't let him get started, and that, when you're dribbling the ball, you're trying to get the ball to Wembanyama, and he's not in the position to get the basketball the right way. It slows the game down. It slows the set down, and Portland did a really good job in that game. Thiago Splitter, solid film. And game plan in that. Rockets tried to duplicate it, really didn't work. Lakers did a really good job. Wembanyama was getting in foul trouble every single time he drive by one of his defenders. There'd be someone there to set a charge. He ended up fouling out in that game against the Lakers. It was a really close game against LA. Went down to the wire. Crazy ending to that one, if anybody saw that. But they said Fox was going to be ready for the Saturday game against the Pelicans. A good game to come back, a good team to come back against. Not the best team in the league, talented but not a good team. And yeah, I mean, shooting percentage is solid. Really looked like he really didn't miss a step. Had a hamstring injury, so it's really tricky with players like of his athletic caliber, getting to the basket, driving, slashing. That's really what he's great at. So Spurs took their time. Guard play, Harper's hurt now, so now with Fox coming back, it's just a replacement. He was playing well in Fox's absence, so when he returns, it's not like his confidence is going to waver or things are going to change because one, he was already coming off the bench. So they did a great job of that in terms of managing that, and he's still being able to play and get minutes with Victor and the rest of the starters. And here we go. Wembanyama had 18 and 18, 3 blocks in this game, 2 assists. They're gonna be one of the best teams in the West, and then obviously in the league going forward. I think they have everything now. You have a closer that could shoot in the perimeter, get to the free throw line, knock down his free throws, clutch. And there were some people online saying like, oh, they didn't need Fox, and like, you're definitely going to need the more stars, the better. More specifically in the West. In the West, there's a 2 great players on every team. In order to be a contender, you have to have at least 2 great players, and then it's the rest of the supporting cast of the roster and how that's constructed. The Spurs right now, the way they're built, their 2 best players with everyone else that they have, they're going to be very dangerous. They're going to be very dangerous. So great to see Fox back, get into the fold here to start the season, and we'll see what the season plays out for San Antonio. It's good. Again, another team, small market squad, had some struggles over the last few years, but now they're turning the page and they're starting to play some winning basketball.
For anyone to say that they don't need Fox just blows my mind. If you can get a superstar point guard who plays unselfish, really, I mean, he gets his basket when he wants to, basically, like you said, down in a shot clock, you don't have anything going. De'Aaron Fox can score or at least get a shot off that is a good look, just with his downhill speed and what he brings to the table with that. So, I mean, it's crazy people even think that, but you're talking about, future to come there too. And so I had to look real quick. De'Aaron Fox is just 27 too. I mean, you've got Wemby, who, 20? Not T20, really. I can't remember, but young.
21, 22.
21. And De'Aaron Fox at 27. A little bit of a gap with the 6 years, but De'Aaron Fox is still technically young. So, yeah, this could be a dynamic duo for years to come.
Yeah, and it's like it's a 5-6 year difference, but I don't see I don't see that being an issue, even from a timeline perspective. I think it's good that your point guard is older and more experienced.
Veteran.
And exactly. And it's already played winning basketball on another team. So, and has already played with a really good front court player in Domantas Sabonis. So these, the list of the boxes already been checked in terms of like his skill set, what he's accomplished, and then how he could complement Wembanyama. Just as they continue to play and get more games, get more reps, they're gonna be dangerous, bro. They're gonna be dangerous because they held down the fort before he returned, and now they're still second in the West. It's great, playing great basketball.
Yeah, absolutely. Of course, another Kentucky player having a great first, I'm going to say half, but it's way shorter than a half. But beginning start of a season, of course, we got up in the Philly. We got Tyrese Maxey dropping 31 points against. I don't remember who they are, but of course, at this time they were third in the East. It looked like the other one said that they were 6. So they're so close in games right now. We'll look more in depth with that as far as the standings later. But Tyrese is definitely being the number one option for the Sixers this year. What's your think? Their future with the 76ers moving forward, because they've been up and down for everything, injuries, whatever. Is Embiid playing, is he not, that whole drama, if you will. And then you've got Tyrese dropping the 31 points here and leading them. I didn't see this. Let me pull up what you got graphic here. So this season, 40 points, 6-2, 28, 9-6, 43, 8-4, 39, 10-3, 26, 14-8. Honestly, it goes on 39 points, 31 points, but everything else, I mean, assists, he's flirting with the double-double. Rebounds, he's getting close to the 5 and up occasionally. So he's doing everything. They're 4th in the East. You just updated that. So what are your thoughts on this? And what are your thoughts on Tyrese really moving forward?
It's the next answer. It's really what it is. It's probably want to get your own nickname, of course, but that's really what they have been missing for a very long time. It's that dynamic point guard that could take over the city, and he's done that. He's done that every single year he's been in the league. We saw him improve each and every single season. He played around great players: Simmons, Harden, Embiid. When he won MVP, he was on that team. Tobias Harris. He's had good coaching. Doc Rivers, Nick Nurse, 2 championship head coaches. So, coming from a championship organization in Kentucky. So it's just all the experience and development that he's had up until this point has been great. You got to throw that in there as well. It's very key when you talk about the rise of a superstar. I believe Tyrese Maxey is going to be a superstar. And it's great for Philadelphia because Embiid isn't necessarily going to play a lot of games, and now you have this young backcourt. They really have 4 guards that are impactful. When you got, obviously, Maxey's at the top of that guard list, and then you got Quentin Grimes, who's played really well so far this season. I think he had a 14 assist game, 20 and 14 so far this season, 23-point games, and these are games adjacent to Embiid and Maxey. He's scoring. He's been playing really well this season. Played well last year too, and the second half of the season with the Sixers. And it's just, and then you got McCain. He's been injured. He's been hurt. But when he was playing last year, he was looking like a Rookie of the Year favorite in the beginning of the season. He was definitely playing that well. And then, of course, the rookie this year, BJ Edgecombe. So you got 4 guards that have different skill sets, and they've all got some minutes with Maxey. So, and they all complement and play well with Tyrese. So it's like it's just the perfect situation when you have a guard spot, because that guard spot, guys can be selfish. They could look for their own. So when he's a leader because they look to him to be the guy, the scorer, get everybody involved. And what I've been most impressed with so far this season is the assists. The assists is going up. So he's seeing the floor significantly better than what he has been in years past. That shows me that his preparation in the film is much better, because he's seeing how defense is going to play him. And as he got better and as players left, Simmons, Harden, the responsibility increased. And he's just answered the call and accepted the challenge every single year. He's going to be one of the best point guards in the league, until he retires. That's just really what it's looking like right now. He's on that trajectory. And playoff success is what it, can he get the Sixers to the conference finals? Does he? I believe he can. I believe he can. I believe he's that talented, and they have a good team. They have a good team. Health considered, George is back. If you can just get a certain amount of games with Embiid going into April, you're gonna have a shot, because he's completely accepted the role. Like, this is my team too. Like, yes, Embiid, you're here. This is also my team, and we're seeing the benefits of that.
Yeah, I agree with you totally. And honestly, I was more concerned that Tyrese Maxey may not develop into a superstar, just because a bit of his joking personality. You've seen a lot during the rookie season of the All-Star week, goofing off, hugging people, and it just be that social media thing that caught on. Like, can he be serious and take it for real, like the focus that he needs to? And he's proven that he can do it. So I'm super stoked for him to be doing this. The answer, or Tyrese, I don't know. I'm just trying to think of a nickname that might be a little cheesy.
Yeah,
But
Philly, I'm sure Philly will find. They'll find a nickname. They're
oh
good
yeah,
with
they'll
that.
find it.
They're good with the nicknames. So
Yeah,
I'm sure
but
they'll
speaking
find
of finding something,
with
yeah,
Tyrese.
speaking of finding
100%.
something though, guys, I want to hit this real quick. See if we can get it to pop up. Oh, let's see here. I'm trying to be fancy and it didn't work out. Here we go. Try it again. Find us on YouTube, guys. Of course, we got 60 live with us right now on X. We appreciate that. But go to our YouTube. Of course, it's youtube.com/@MNC Hoops. Subscribe to that. Turn on that notification bell. Of course, give us a like with that. We do appreciate all subscribes. And, of course, all follows on X as well, where CJ, keeps it chopping like crazy on it. So thankful for everyone that's in here. So I just want to give that little shout of action as we move to our next topic here. So I haven't seen the stats as we move forward to this next topic, and I'm excited to see it because your headline that you created for this sounds wonderful. Giannis video game numbers to start the season. And of course, you've already got the graphic pulled up here, and I'm just going to go through a few of these. 37, 14, and 5, 31, 20, and 7, 40 points, 14 rebounds, 9 assists. I mean, 33, 13, and 5, 41, 15, and 9. He's got to get that one more assist to get that triple-double. So outstanding stats that he is just dominating for the Bucks. He is the Buck running for Milwaukee. We know that he's dedicated and he's ring hungry still, even though he's got one. We know he wants to win, and he's doing everything that he can right now for the Bucks. What are your thoughts? And can you recreate this guy on 2K?
Yeah, you could. You could definitely not with the cap breakers and the way you could add extra attributes to your build after getting to a 99. It's possible. It's possible. But what in real life, this is wild. This is wild what he's doing. I mean, because it's really off being physical. It's not finesse. It's not tween crossover dribbles, step back threes. It's not like what we see from other players. And this is one of the best things about the NBA is the different styles dominating the league, and we're seeing which style is going to be the best. This is the era of seeing which style is going to amount to the most championships in the parity era. You got Jokic's style, the big man playmaking 0.5. Giannis is the two-way slasher at the power forward spot, but can still playmate. And he's working on his mid-range too. The mid-range has really improved over the last few years. It's gotten a lot better. But this just goes to show, like, when you put your mind to going to the basket, and you're so much athletically better than everyone else, the finishing, laying the ball up and dunking, it's a wrap. It's a wrap. I picked Giannis for MVP this season. I just felt like a lot of people. It's looking like a good pick. Looking like a good pick right now, but it just looked that way because of just narrative wise. It was set up. It was going to look like it was going to play great because he always put up great numbers. He averaged like 30 and 13 last year, but it got complete. It kind of got overlooked because SGA, Jokic. That was the real debate, like who was going to win MVP last year. That was the true discussion. Giannis still put up 30 and 13, but this year, team is different. No Dame. People are saying they're not going to do anything. They're not going to be successful, and he's saying that that's not what's going to happen. You have one of the best players in the world. Your probability of winning is always going to be significantly high every single night. So, playing like an MVP, the race it's a really good race right now. I think it's a plethora of players that's in the first 2 weeks that have really put themselves in a calm spot. Still a lot of basketball left, but this is wild. This is wild. He's going to go down as one of the greatest ever of all time. It's just the the placement of where he's going to be ranked all time. You know, championships. You know, how many championships is he going to win? You know, if he wins multiple championships, if he gets around three, if he gets 3 championships, I mean, we're going to have it's going to be discussions because he plays another 10 years. No one can stop him going to the basket. No one can stop him going to the basket, man. And he's 30 right now. Turns 31 in December. He plays another 6-7 years. That's what, like, 16,000, 17,000 points. So yeah, it's once you start getting to those, reach certain accolades and thresholds, all-time thresholds, and then you have the chips to complement it too. That's really what it's all about at this point. So he's playing great. The players around him have been playing well. Ryan Rollins is a guy from Toledo. Like, really got counted out in other places. Really found a home. They really needed him to step up. He's played well, averaging like 15 and 5 rebounds. Quality guard. Good shooters. Always got to have good shooters. Kuzma looks revitalized after some struggling weird years in Washington. So it's Giannis, of course, but you see in the assists, it's everybody. It's everybody. Everybody's getting involved. They're making plays for each other, and that's why we're seeing the Bucks having success.
I just want to talk about, if you don't care, a little bit, if he does play another 5 to 6 years, and you're talking about the whatever 1,000 points that he gets. To me, unfortunately, in some casuals, they won't put the emphasis on how important and how great that is that he's scoring those many points, because he doesn't shoot that many threes, or he doesn't make that many threes either. So it's either and ones, it's straight 2-point dunks, whatever, really grinding out to get those scores. And so I had to look it up real quick. So in his career, he's only made 542 threes out of 1,900 attempts. Last season alone, he made 14 threes for the season out of 63 attempts. Now, this year, he's already made 6 three-pointers, so the shooting percentage or the shooting selection is going up here. But still, like, whatever he scores is going to be mostly heavily to the 2-pointers, and still going to be up there in the points for a career. So, yeah, like, really admire and enjoy this guy as he plays, because he seriously is what we would really call dominant. It's like you said, he don't have tricks in the bag where he's going tween and everything. It's just, hey, I'm going to score and you're going to do nothing to stop me. And he does it. So yeah, that's dominance to me.
Yeah, and it's just also regular season is a given. But, and I said this yesterday, I said this last week when you were out.
With the fire.
Yeah. I didn't want to die some kind of person. But from those players, from that group, the supporting cast, right? Who's going to step up in the playoffs? That's ultimately what it's about. They're going to win games, and it's good that they're developing chemistry. This is a different team. It's a new team. They have guys that have been there, but roles are different now for other players outside of Giannis. So that's what this regular season is about. But once the playoffs come around, it's like, who's going to, hopefully there's a hierarchy and shots and game on the, under 5 minutes, situational basketball, who's going to get the rock, who's going to help close. That's when we'll start to see what this team is really made of. But yeah, right now he's just able to do everything. There aren't really a lot of great defensive front court players. They used to be just specialists. They used to just be, back in the day, they used to just be like power forward centers that would just play defense. Like, they really wouldn't do a lot of, really wasn't offensive heavy. You never asked them to score, but they had defensive IQ. They'd use their size, physicality, just make things different for the star player. You rarely see that now. A lot of these teams, they went with smaller centers, and they could be athletic, but they don't have a lot of like physical mass. So he's looking at these power forwards and it's food. These guys are food. There's no shot. There's no shot. There's only one player in the league that can really that you would want contesting Giannis in the paint. That's Wembanyama. One play, he just got in the league, and he's in a different conference. So you have to game plan. And honestly, I would say OG Anunoby as well. Humbly speaking, I've seen a lot of clips of OG, even when he was in Toronto, doing a great job on Giannis. So it's rare. It's really just 2 or 3 guys that can contain him, can try to contain him. And Doc Rivers, it's pressure. It's going to be pressure. There's always going to be pressure because of what his postseason resume is. And until that changes, that's what it's just going to be.
For sure on that. What else can you really say for the Bucks? I mean, Doc, it's going to be Doc. Hopefully he can change his narrative as the season goes on. We won't go into there until it's playoffs time, but yeah, Giannis is playing like MVP right now in the East for sure. Let's go ahead and go to the West again and talk about another team that's, of course, in first. And the question that you have on this headlines is interesting. It's very interesting. Of course, he's got OKC start of the year is 9-1, only 1 loss, of course, and then 70 wins this season. Of course, they just beat the Kings 132-101. And I mean, this is a team. They have so much depth, and everyone in their depth knows their role. They all stay into exactly what they want to. I guess CJ's changing, and I guess they're 10-1 now, as he changes the headline there for us. But man, OKC has really, in my opinion, and it may be out there, I feel like they taken the college perspective of basketball, playing as a complete team, playing for each other, and made an NBA team with that. You know, Alex Caruso does everything he can for everyone else, puts his body on the line. You've got Wallace, who's a defensive guy who's really got to developed his shot as well and can help out with scoring. You got SGA, of course, MVP, what he's done. Holmgren, you even got, I can't even think the center's name, but he just battles down low and knows he's getting the rebounds, kicking it out. He doesn't go outside of his realm of what he should do. And that's just to name like, 6 players, not to mention so many more. Not to even mention either one of the Jalen. So what's your thoughts on this 10-1 start for your defending NBA champions?
Thunder just got a win against the Grizzlies, 114, 100. So now they're on a 2-game win streak after taking that loss to the Trailblazers a few nights ago. Again, it's well-oiled machine. It's a well-oiled machine. They know what they need to do every single night. Everybody knows their role. I think just the selflessness, really. Selflessness, and outside of SGA, you really don't know who else is going to step up. It could be anybody. You know, you have Isaiah Hartenstein, 33 and 19, AJ Mitchell, young player, someone that they drafted, that they developed. He's gaining confidence. He's playing well. Son Wallace as well, playing great basketball. He's a champion. He already knows what it takes. And you talked about Dort, Caruso, Chet. It's so many different factors, so many different weapons that they have on the team. If you're not locked in, Aaron Wiggins, if you're not locked in the entire possession, and you need the roster, you need to defeat Oklahoma City, you need a 9-man rotation, high IQ 9-man rotation. Because their 9-man rotation is elite, just from the mind perspective and also what they do on the court. So if you're not on that level, and you can't, and if you're not ready, you have too many lapses as a team, and you have certain lineups that they can exploit based on what they bring to the table. It's going to be a tough night. It's going to be a tough night, and it may be close. Like, it may be close early in the game. You may be able to contend, have an opportunity. Once the fourth quarter comes around, we know SGA is going to get to his spots, get to his spots, try to draw fouls, get to the free throw line, slow the game down, get to his element. And once you try to, you know, find a way to stop that, you should have playmaking. Guys are knocking down shots, and the defense is always something that they're going to hang their hat on. That's what they've done. Just a dangerous team. It's a dangerous team. The attention to detail has to be close. Because look at last year, they had a 7-game series against the Nuggets and the 7-game series in the NBA Finals against the Pacers, and they were able to edge both of those series out because of those little things that we've been talking about. So, can they get the 70 wins? It's difficult. It's difficult. They've been close the last few seasons. I think the way they play and their mindset and what they bring to the table and how they don't take any game for granted, I believe they can win 70 games. If they're going to be this year, $70-12. I mean, it's difficult. It's difficult. It's just there's so many good players in the league right now, so many solid teams. I'm gonna say yes. I'm gonna go yes. Gotta take risks sometimes. I'm gonna say yes. I believe they have the team, they have the squad to go on multiple 10-game win streaks. They've done it before, and they know how to win, especially now. So it's a dangerous matchup when you see them on the schedule.
So I just want to make sure I heard this right. CJ thinks that the OKC can win 70 games this season.
Yes. Yeah, I believe they can.
Okay, I'm not mad at that, honestly, because really their second string, their second five, if you will, can keep up with a lot of first fives in the league, basically. So, I mean, with the league or the time management, whatever you want to say on that, you really aren't losing too much. As long as SGA is out there, you can win with any lineup that you put out with him. He's going to be that superstar that can get where he wants to, and everyone else has a role, and everyone else has a replacement that knows that exact same role and can just basically play the same level. So, yeah, I mean, I'm not saying they will, but I wouldn't be surprised if they do. I'm not saying that they can't either. So, it's only time will tell on that, and it would be awesome to see I guess they're still the youngest franchise in the NBA, aren't they? There hasn't been a new one.
No, the Nets. It's the Nets now.
Oh, because they went to Brooklyn.
The five rookies. Yeah, they got the 5 rookies kind of.
Yeah. Okay. All right. Well, still, the youngest in the West, I guess, the Pelicans were before them. Yeah. So, yeah, it would be great to see them to have that title as 70 wins or a record of 70 wins in a season.
Yeah, after winning the championship, follow up that season. Follow up with a 70-win season. Yeah,
of course, that's kind of what Golden State did too, wasn't it? They won the championship next year. So I mean, it's been done right after a championship. Let's see if they can repeat that method, I guess, and make it happen again. I think they can for sure, but I don't know if they. I'm going to say no, but I wouldn't be surprised if you're right. So we'll try to clip this and make sure that we remember when they do win 70 games that this Sunday CJ called it. So
I think when the Bulls went 72-10, the following year they won 69 games. Mm-hmm. So and then obviously they repeated, but it's one of these special teams, man. Special teams.
Oh yeah, it really is. Bought into the system and totally 100% going forward with it. So, shout out to them. Let's go ahead and talk about another one that's an elite, not team, but I'm going to say an elite player and what he does and brings to the table. He's a triple threat. Let's just be honest. And, of course, we're talking about the one and only the Joker, who could average a triple-double. I mean, obviously, that's why I said a triple threat, using that play on words. But in the last 4 games from Hoop Central on X, he's went 34, 7, 14, 33, 15, and 16, 26, 9, and 9, 32, 14, and 14. So, my goodness, that is every bit of averaging a triple double. Okay, it's got it down there for yesterday. 32, 14, and 14 was yesterday. I'm sorry, that was when they said that. I went the wrong way on that. So yeah, this dude is a rebounding machine, an assist machine, and a scoring at will machine. Of course, some of those baskets are easy putbacks, on his rebounds, which is a part of the game. I'm not holding anything back on him, but the IQ of this guy with the finesse game, even though it looks a little not finesse, but understanding what goes on, it's a walking MVP. Let's just be honest. So I want to hear from you. Are the Nuggets going to be the real deal with this possibly averaging a triple-double or what?
Yeah, I believe Jokic will average a triple-double for the rest of his career. I think it's just I really don't see anything. Just one, because usually what you would see from a center, sometimes the center would be difficult is the assists. When the guard would try to get a triple-double, would be difficult for the guard would be the rebounding.
The rebound.
He's great at both of those things. So this is just here we go. Here we go. He's easily going to destroy their triple-double record, when his career is over. And to surpass Westbrook and Oscar Robertson is an incredible feat. I think he's already top five, might be top five or close to it. I think now is really just about can it be 30? Can he get a 30-point? Can he average a 30-point triple-double? And the thing about it is it's not just like 10 rebounds, it's like 13 rebounds, 10 assists. Just one of the greatest. It's one of the greatest we've ever seen. Just really can't take this for granted because there aren't a lot of centers that we've seen play the game of basketball like this. Just, the OGs that's still around. They might have seen Will Chamberlain, but Will Chamberlain didn't play like this. He played different. He was getting triple doubles, but he was getting triple doubles in a different style at the 5 spot. This is a unique style. One would think when you as a casual, you would look at him and say he wouldn't be able to do all of this, but it's just he plays at his pace, he plays at his speed. As I said with Giannis, there aren't a handful of defensive-minded centers on teams, so it's not really like, hey, yo, you try to make it difficult on Jokic tonight. You see these guys are like 6'10", and Jokic is like 70, 50, 60 pounds heavier than these guys with the IQ, and they're not caught up. They're not caught up. They're already thinking about something else, and he's already on the pass, making the pass behind you, and the dude is dunking, and your team is looking at you like why didn't you see that? Why weren't you ready for that? It's just a chess match, and there aren't a lot of centers in the NBA that have the IQ that he does to match his offense. So he's always going to be at an advantageous situation every single time he steps on the court on offense, every single possession. So triple-double for the rest of his career, easy lock. And Michael Porter Jr., Cam Johnson, is still very early. Cam Johnson hasn't played great in the first few games with the Nuggets, but it's going to take some time. It's first time with the team. Roles going to be different. Just be himself. He's one of those players where shot may not be on right now to start the season, and then as the season goes on, you get your legs underneath you. You start to get some good games in. And when you have one of the greatest passers ever on your team, you're going to get a lot more reps than usual. So it's just a matter of time. It's just a matter of time when he steps up. Tim Hardaway Jr. was a really good pickup. He's played that role as well, being a floor spacer for great players. Valanciunas has been cool. it's really this is really what it's about. It's just about the chips, the championships, because these guys are going to already accomplish everything else. All NBAs, MVPs. They're already going to have break a bunch of records. It's just who's going to win the most championships between Giannis, SGA, Luka, Ant-Man, Tatum. That's what's gonna be the deciding factor. Who will be the best and who will be the face of the league? Who will be the next best in this era? I think down the road as Jokic gets older, yeah, there might be centers that may come around and play similar like him, because as he's having success, teams are going to want to try to copy that. And they tried to go small ball with the Warrior era. It was small ball, right? Draymond Green at the 5, Iguodala at the 4. Let's see everybody running gun. Every other team they tried to do the same thing and duplicate that. Now we're seeing in this era with Giannis and Jokic, they're more paint dominant, but they're still showing success and they're still winning championships. So now teams are trying to revert back to what we used to see with dominant front court players taking over. It's different than what we saw in like 20 years ago, a little bit different, but it's still going to be the same impact because skilled, tall players are always going to have an advantage. And that's what we're looking at right now. That we're seeing a combination of dynamic guards, Luka, SGA, and dynamic front court players, Jokic, Giannis, Wembanyama. And it's perfect. Now, if we could just get the offense to be a little bit more unique sometimes from some of these other teams, because a lot of it is still just set the screen, set the screen, read the tag and everything. It's just everybody kind of plays the same. We could mix up some offenses between different squads. Then we could have a golden age. I believe we could have a golden age because we've never seen this. In Jordan's era, Jordan was clear cut the best guard in an era with dominant big men, right? And then LeBron, Curry, they were forwards. They were guard, forward, wings that took over. Kawhi came in, had a little stint in there. 2019, it was the forward wing Kobe. It was that era, and there really wasn't a lot of dominant bigs. Dwight Howard, but he was different. Like it wasn't Olajuwon. You know what I mean? He was a different type of center. He was leaning towards like what we see now from most centers today: rim runner, jump, you catch lobs, get rebounds, along that style. Now we got everything. You got elite forwards, 6'8" to 6'10" that could do everything. You got 6'8" guards: LaMelo, Jokic, Cade. SGA's like 6'6", 6'5". You got these dynamic guards, and then you got elite bigs. So this easily could be the golden age, man. Adam Silver, you cannot mess this up, brother. There's no way. You've been handed a gift, right? You handed a gift, and then you also got the mix of the international and US. Come on, bro. Yeah. Adam Silver, bro. You better thank God every single day you're the commissioner of the NBA, man. I don't know what he believes in, but he got a gift. David Stern gave that brother a gift.
Yeah, even with the future of what's coming up, even with Cooper Flag is showing great as a rookie year, and of course we've gotten all these other ones. Like, yeah, the NBA could, if it's managed correctly, be the best era that we've ever seen as far as a picture of what you're saying. But I do want to say this and go back with, as far as Jokic, what you're talking about. He is not the 5th overall with triple doubles. That's LeBron James. He is actually 3rd on the list already. He's got 169 following Oscar Roberts. I'm sorry. It goes Westbrook at 204, Robertson with 181, and Jokic with 169. So he's 12 behind Oscar. So he'll probably pass him before All-Star break. And there's a chance he could catch Westbrook by the end of the season, which is crazy.
Great. I know Westbrook he's still out there getting triple doubles. So
Yeah. So who knows? That's true. That is true.
No, shout out Russ, man. Most rebounds by a guard ever.
Yep.
Shout out Russ, man.
Yeah, he's a special player for sure. But yeah, Jokic by far one of the most dominant players at the center position in the league ever. Now, I think one of the most dominant is Shaq because he was like physically dominant in just everything. But Jokic is also so mentally dominant too. You know, he does bang like that, like Shaq does, not as athletic as he did with the physicality, but he does what he has to, and then does the most easiest thing possible. Finds the easy pass, finds the easy shot. You know, sets an easy situation to get someone else open off of a pick, or whatever, and just plays the simple game because of his knowledge is so smart on this. So, yeah, by far the best passing center I think I've ever seen as far as vision.
Yeah, no question, no debate. Nobody would debate that.
All right. We are flying through this episode. We make a good time. We're going to have time for 2K tonight. Let's go ahead and jump on down to the holiday schedule, which is coming up in the NBA. Of course, you know, we are, 2 weeks away from Thanksgiving, and then we have everything going straight forward to Christmas very fast. But triple header on November 26th. Is that the day before Thanksgiving, or is that Thanksgiving?
I think it's a Wednesday. I believe that's a Wednesday. Yeah.
Okay, so the day before
Wednesday.
Thanksgiving.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
So we got Detroit, of course, the number one team in the East right now, taking on the Celtics. Of course, that's a 5:00 game. Then we have the championship team taking on Ant-Man and the Timberwolves. About my stuff that, which will be a fun game to watch on that. And then I've been hearing some rumors that who was it? Possibly might be traded. Oh, Ja Morant. Have you heard that yet? That Ja and Ant-Man are pretty good buddies, and whatever's going on there, if Ja's really wanting out, he could end up in Minnesota. I don't believe it, but
that would be crazy.
Yeah, so there's rumors, and we know how rumors are. But
at a backcourt, Ja and Ant-Man,
wow, that would be fun. That would be fast and fun. But of course, OKC, Minnesota at 7:30, and then in the West C, we've got Golden State taking on KD and the Rockets. So, of course, that will be fun to watch. So,
yeah, this is good.
You know what?
This is good. You got a Western Conference Finals rematch from last year with Timberwolves, Oklahoma City. KD going back to Golden State. You know, oh man, a lot of memories. Absolutely. KD came out. What he said a few weeks ago that defense doesn't matter. You got to go get buckets. But then Draymond responded, "You only want championships here. You can't really talk." I don't know. So that's what's going on with that. So that's going to be a good game. That's going to be a really good game. Rockets and the Warriors already don't like each other even before all of this, and just historically, and also
Chris Paul Harden.
Last year's matchup was really physical. It was definitely some technicals given out for some play. Yeah, so that's gonna be good. And you combine it with the NBA Cup, okay. And you got the Pistons and the Celtics. Again, it's like Pistons and the Celtics. Like that. That's like when you say that, that's how you and it's a marquee game. That's good. That's good for the league. Pistons, Celtics, like that's prime time. You got these teams, you got the Pistons back in prime time games. Just as just a basketball fan, it's good. So that's going to be good. And then I like this triple header that they got right here, bro. They're trying to compete with the NFL. That's just NFL automatically. Might as well. There's no point in putting anything basketball. Don't put anything basketball related on Thanksgiving. Don't even try it.
Yeah. What is it?
Try it.
Or it's Cowboys. What Giants? I think always play, not each other, but at least they always play in the.
Yeah, the Cowboys, Green Bay, Lions.
Lions
usually get a game. Yeah. So
here we are, NBA talking NFL for Thanksgiving. That's how dominant it is for Thanksgiving. So NBA don't do anything. So they're smart going Wednesday here for sure.
Go Wednesday,
But,
easy.
Yeah.
Easy. Then we got the Christmas games.
Yes. Do you have that to pull up? Because, I mean, that's.
Yeah, it's right here.
Oh, you do? Goodness, you got to. Okay.
We got the Cavs and the Knicks.
Yay, that'd be a good one.
Spurs and the OKC. Mavericks and the Warriors. Rockets and the Lakers. And the Timberwolves and the Nuggets. Man, God willing, I will be at that Cavs-Knicks game on Christmas.
Hey.
Yes, sir. Trying to make it a tradition. Go to the Knicks games every Christmas.
That's a good tradition. I like it.
So try to make it 2 years in a row for the kid. So that's gonna be a good. Donovan Mitchell going back to the crib. Just beat them in the season opener, so I'm sure they're gonna try to get a response. I think we play them one more time before Christmas, but either way, should be good. Good game. Spurs OKC. Man, future could be a potential Western Conference Finals preview. I just hope everybody is healthy there for all these games. I hope LeBron is back for this. Like KD in LA against Luka, AR and Bron. KD going to LA. Come on, man.
I will say, I would rather Dallas
games.
and Houston. They should have been switched. Dallas and Lakers, Rockets and Warriors. Like that would have been a better matchup on this game.
Probably because the day before Thanksgiving game is Rockets Warriors, so they didn't want to just double overkill. But
right,
KD versus Bron is always going to be can't go wrong. It's only going to be so many more KD versus Bron or Bron versus KD. So I'm great. And to get it on Christmas, this is it's going to be great. It's going to be great. I don't know what the timetable is for AD. Prayers up. I don't know if he's going to be in that game against Golden State. I don't know what the Mavs are really going to look like by Christmas. They're kind of struggling right now. No Kyrie. AD has an Achilles injury that he's not even seeing the court. If I was a GM, what? Impossible. So I don't know. I don't know what Dallas looks like by Christmas, but nonetheless, this is a stacked schedule right here. Ant-Man, Jokic to finish the day. If I was to rate this Christmas Day schedule, I would give it I would say 9 out of 10.
Oh, for sure. I don't even know how you can make it a 10.
How you can make it a 10? It's just the Mavericks, man. If Kyrie and AD with Flag, they're talking about trading Clay. My gosh.
Yes.
I don't know what's up with that. I mean, it's early, though. It's early.
And Dirk, I don't know if you see what he was talking about. He said they can't play defense and they can't shoot the ball. I was like, oh man, that's straight at Clay, and basically.
Where's the lie, bro?
Yeah, but and then it was Cooper Flag saying it's kind of beating him down mentally. It sounds like because he said I've never lost this many games ever. He goes on to say, and I looked at it. They lost 9 games last year for, of course, Duke when he was in college, and they've already lost 7 games this season. So like that is different for you when you've been top dog dominant team to go into the NBA making money and not really being the best team. So we'll see how he handles that because with AD out, it's his team for sure. Like, I mean, we know it's his team because he's the number 1 pick, but without Kyrie or AD, it's Cooper Flag's time right now.
Yeah, it's his team.
We'll see how he does.
Yes, it's his team. I mean, he's the number 1. He's the number 1 pick. They're going to build around him. He's going to get his confidence together. They'll get right. I don't know what their record will look like by this time, but I think they'll look better than what they look like right now for sure. I believe that. Kyrie, you need a point guard. You need a point guard in this league. And he's one of the greatest ever. So when that happens, they will also look like a completely different squad. And the way Kyrie was playing, even when AD wasn't there, he was 25, 5 and 5 on 50, 40, 90 shooting splits. So Warriors. The Rockets. It's Rockets, man. Rockets. It was smart. It was smart getting KD because now they're in these games. Because last year they were a great team, but they weren't in these marquee games because they didn't have like that premier guy yet. I mean, Şengün I believe he will develop into that, but they didn't have that marquee home run marketable player yet. And now you got
Şengün's that guy.
Yeah,
Şengün's that guy, but he's just not marketable, like you're saying. Like, he's just a quiet, sound player, by the books, fundamentally player. It's not marketable, sadly. KD,
yeah, well, I mean, no, it's not even just like his personality. It's just because they haven't won enough. Like they just started to win last year. So I'm saying as they start to win, he'll be more marketable because his game is similar to Jokic, and Jokic is not. He's not the most charismatic guy. Like he doesn't have, he's not jumping for joy. So, but yeah, KD, KD, Bron, Luka, Bron, AR. Probably the greatest 3-guard combo. Might go down as one of the greatest 3-guard combo we've ever seen. It's gonna be fun. It's gonna be fun with that defensive squad. Ime Udoka, JJ Redick. Woo! Yeah, I'm locked in.
So, of course, you're going to say the Knicks, but like, what matchup are you most excited about trying to watch, or at least star matchups?
Yeah, I mean, I already talked about Rockets Lakers, so I'll go Spurs OKC. I'll go
That's
Spurs
actually
OKC.
me.
Yeah, because
Fox and SGA, like that's
Fox
and
SGA. Yeah, Fox SGA, Chet Wemby. It's good. Yeah, they match up and they match up well right now too. When you look at starting five, and second unit with the Spurs is not on the level of OKC, but that'll ultimately be the deciding factor. But yeah, they have history as well. And it was that young OKC team versus the aging Spurs team in the 2010s. It's the same thing. It's just a different generation of it now. Young head coaches, Daglino and Johnson. It's good. Yeah, that'll probably be the second team for me outside of course, Bron and AD. I mean, Bron and KD. It's different.
Yeah, I'm with you on that. For me, being a Kentucky guy, watching that head-to-head with the two PGs there, and of course Wallace on OKC as well, and then of course Johnson plays for the Spurs as well, who played at Kentucky. So that's fun for me. But I'm also interested in the Knicks in Cleveland.
So Johnson,
you would say Knicks.
Oh, Keldon Johnson.
Yeah. But even of course watching Brunson and Mitchell play, I think that's going to be a good one to see. Of course, Pistons is number one, whatever you want to say right now. But prior or beginning of the season, it was going to be these two teams who would come out on top in the East. So it'd be a good battle to see how them go at it there. So.
Yeah, I say next year the Pistons will have one of these games for sure, because Cade is the guy. He's up. I mean, he's one of the best players under 25.
Man, but who falls out?
Of the schedule slot?
Yeah,
maybe
yes.
Dallas. Probably Dallas. Yeah.
But what? I don't know. We'll have Kyrie next year and Cooper. So I mean,
it's true. But I think what they got. They got four Western Conference teams and one East team.
Yeah. Yeah.
So I think they might go 2 East, 3 West next year.
Yeah. Maybe bring in Celtics with the Pistons. I agree.
Yeah. I think
we're so smart. All right, let's move on. Let's go ahead and go to the Week 2 standings outlook in the NBA. Of course, we're going to go through the East and West on this and kind of just look at their schedules or their standings with what kind of streaks they got going on and more or less talk what surprised us and whatnot. Of course, we've already said it 5,000 times today that the Pistons 7-2 to start the season is really amazing with the 5-game win streak right now. Hopefully this is no fluke and they can keep on going. OKC did this 2 years ago, led pretty much the whole season, and then playoffs came around and then they didn't do very much. So Pistons, maybe this is them, hey, getting their confidence with the season going on and see how they can carry on with the playoffs. So shout out Detroit for real. The Bulls even in fourth place. Of course, it's 6-3. There's a lot of 6-3 teams, so any game makes you move anywhere from there. But it's good to see Chicago back up in the East as far as talking with standings going on right now. Milwaukee out at 7 is tough to think the way that Giannis is playing, and still they'd be in the play-in right now. But again, we're way early. One game moves them all the way up to like third place. So I'm not going to panic too much on that. But yeah, Pistons in the East is just the biggest surprise for me right now. What about you?
Detroit, Philadelphia. I've been impressed with. I say been a little bit disappointed in Orlando. I thought they would be playing some better basketball at this stage, just because they kind of already had their team and they added someone like Bane. But I guess it's gonna take some time. I think they're still gonna be a threat towards the season as the season goes on. But for them to be outside of the top 10 is something there. Atlanta got a big win against the Lakers last night. They smoked the Lakers. I was shocked by that. I mean, Trae Young's been out, no Porzingis, and Luka was out. Luka was in playing the game, and they got a good win. Raptors 500. That just makes a lot of sense to me. That's probably what they'll be around, because they have some talent. But I just don't know how many games they're going to win. Like, BI is good. RJ's having a solid season. Quickly struggling right now. I think he'll pick it up later on. So Orlando being 11, and I wouldn't say I'm surprised Detroit's number one, because I had them top 3 in the East in my standings before the season. So I wouldn't say I'm surprised. I would say Chicago. They're on a 2-game skid right now, but they've been playing some really good basketball. It's just, again, for Chicago, it's really just going to come down to that 5 spot in the rim protection. Vucevic is not the best rim protector, and we saw that. I mean, Giannis put up 40 against Giannis, but there's ways. And even when the Knicks got their get back game against Chicago in the Garden, they did a really good job of going to the basket. Once Vucevic is out, I mean, they're even worse because they don't have a backup center. So I mean, they've been able to play with pace and kind of outrun teams these first few games, and that's why Giddey's get down the floor, get to the basket, and then once everybody collapses, he sprays it out to shooters, and that's going to work, and it's going to be successful, especially in the East, because it's not a lot of great teams. So we'll see how many games they continue to win. But yeah, I would say Chicago 1 and Orlando not being in the top 10. A little alarming to me right now. 2 weeks in the season. We got look at the Heat. Okay, the Heat top 6. Jovic had a good game the other night. He had like 29 or something like that.
Oh,
they gave him an extension. I think he's gonna, as he gets his confidence up, he's gonna be a good player. He's gonna be a good player.
That's the thing with Miami. They never really have like a superstar, but yet they somehow still stay relevant with what they do have. I mean, they really develop players. They draft well and develop the people.
Yeah, they draft really well. Davion Mitchell was such a great fit. It's perfect. It's perfect because it's like what Kyle Lowry was supposed to be, but just Kyle Lowry was just too old at the time. By the time he got to Miami, so he's that Kyle. Yeah, he's throwing games. Terry was throwing games. Scary Terry for a reason.
Turnover Terry.
Yeah, on purpose. But yeah, Davion Mitchell is such a great pickup. That was such a really good pickup out of Heat for him to go there. He fits that team perfectly. All he just want to do is just lock the opposing guard up, get stops, just make it difficult for everybody, be a disruptor. It's like a shorter version of Marcus Smart. Game changer. Can be a game changer on the right team, and I think he's on the right team. But you're right. Yeah, they don't have that like Cade Cunningham, and that's what they need. Like once they're able to get that Cade, someone like that. Woo! If you guys could get a young star that wants it and fits the identity and mold of Pat Riley, then you got the Heat, Pistons, Cavs, Knicks, Celtics when Tatum comes back, Pacers when Halliburton comes back. Now the East can start to get up to where the West is at a little bit. And I guess what I'm saying.
Like the 90s NBA.
Then you get the golden, and then you get the golden age. Then you get the new renaissance. Yeah. So it's just, I would say probably by 2027, we will see the NBA at its peak in terms of everything across the board. 2027.
Sounds good to me. Miami's got to somehow get that first round pick and get somebody.
I say probably a superstar goes there, bro.
I'm hoping Giannis. Oh my goodness. Whew.
Yeah, that'd be wild. That'd be crazy.
Yes, because he buys into that Miami too. Like he fits that. So,
of course he does. Of course. We got the Western Conference. Talked about Oklahoma City 10-1, Spurs 7-2, Denver Nuggets 7-2, Lakers are 7-3. Houston got a win against the Bucks today. They're 6-3. Minnesota 5-4. Playing Trailblazers, Warriors, Phoenix, Grizzlies. What's your reaction? First 2 weeks of the season.
My two teams that I'm going to say that are surprising me right now, and of course, again, we're 9 games in, but the Trailblazers at 7 in a play-in right now is amazing, especially with what's going on, with whatever there's going on there in that organization that's technically not in the organization, but personnel with it, I guess we'll say. But, of course, the Blazers pretty much lost everyone, got some trades back during the offseason. We didn't know what they were doing. Then all of a sudden it looked like they rebuilt it real well during the offseason. So surprising to see how quick this has come around. I mean, it's 5-4, but still they're in the play-in at the moment. And the Suns, too. Of course, it's 5-5, but they're right now in the play-in. They got rid of KD. Didn't really get much of a return back, but they are in the top 10 as of right now. So those are my two teams that I'm like, okay, like maybe you guys knew what you were doing after all. We'll see how it kind of plans out here. But as far as the top 3, it's really, you can't really say anything about being surprised of anything. I'm glad that the Nuggets are on a 4-game winning streak, kind of putting together what they need to with Giannis, wrong person, with Jokic there. So I'm going to go down the side, I guess, here and go with the Blazers and Sun as far as being in the play-in, because I really thought neither one of them would be in the play-in any during this season.
Lakers were getting off to a really good start with LeBron.
Without LeBron
and AR and Luka missing some games. Though the other guys really stepped up. Smart, Laravia, Ayton, looking solid. Looking solid. Golf claps. Get golf claps right now. So we'll see able to keep it up, but looking like a starting center now, and which is good. So Lakers, I would say Lakers is a team that I've been impressed with outside of that game yesterday against the Hawks. But Blazers, yeah, I would say so. All things considered, they got the wrong type of stories attached to the team because of the head coach. But they got a good win against the Spurs, and they got a good win against OKC, top 2 teams in the West. So that's really what put them in that 7 spot right there. Those 2 big wins against Oklahoma City and San Antonio. They're talented. They're talented. They're talented. I think with them is really just, I don't think they really know like who's the guy. But they have Denny Avdia is probably going to be one of those guys. Avdia, they got Kamara. Scoot Henderson hasn't really worked yet. It doesn't mean it's not going to work. Donovan Clingan, first time being a starting 5 in his young career. Jeremy Grant, Drew Holiday playing some great basketball right now. Yeah, averaging like 19, 6, and 5 on some good shooting splits. And then you got Dame, when it's time, when he's ready. Diago Splitter. I mean, hey man, we know Diago Splitter is a name, basketball name. If you know the game, you've been covering the game for a while. You know about Diago Splitter. So coming from that Spurs Popovich tree, yeah, man, it could be a blessing in disguise. With Chauncey losing out on opportunities, next man up. We say it about the players when we talk about sports. It applies to everybody else and just in life. So we'll see if he's able to capitalize on this opportunity. I think he will. And they have a good roster. They have a really good roster. How many games they're going to win, only time will tell. But I think that's really the question for the Blazers, just like who's the guy. Like we know when Dame comes back, Dame's going to be the guy. But right now it's who's, I guess, well, the question is who's going to be the guy right now, and then going forward it'll be who'd be 2 and 3, and then they figure out their roles. And Phoenix 5-5, Jalen Green's going to be out 4 to 6 weeks with the hamstring after just coming back, after just debuting for Phoenix a few games ago. So that's tough. Booker, I mean, they got the dub last night, 21, 9, and 10 from Book. I just don't know the win column. I don't know. I don't know what it looks like. I don't know what it looks like with Phoenix. Sacramento is just they're one of the most disappointing franchises, I would say, because how do you go from the season they had, top seeds in the West? Yeah, they were like a top 3 seed in the West. It looks like you got your building block pieces going forward with Fox and Sabonis, Keegan Murray, Malik Monk. You get all these guys. You're like, all right, this is what's looking like. This is going to be the future. This is the direction. This is the
future.
vision. Mike Brown winning Coach of the Year. And then here we are 2 years later, and your two point guards are Dennis Schroeder and Russell Westbrook. And you got and then you got Chicago's old duo in DeRozan and Levine with Sabonis, who should be playing the 4 and is continuing going to be playing the 5. I mean, they just brought in Scott Perry. They brought in some new guys. So this is the pass. You got to give those new guys a pass because they really don't have their players in there yet, because it's you just can't completely turn a team around that quick. But they have the talent to win a lot of games still. But DeRozan and Levine, they don't answer the call defensively to try to stop or make it difficult on the opposing team's best perimeter player. Like, yeah, you could get 25. Like, both of you guys could go get 25. But if the dude you're guarding is also getting 28, 27, what does that mean? It doesn't mean anything. And when your 2 best players aren't your most focused defenders, what do you think the rest of the team is going to play like? So, and this is why they lose. That's one of the main reasons why they lose. Is because DeRozan and Levine, they don't care about that side of the court enough, and you need that, especially in the West. Like, you can't just skate by, outscoring everybody and trying to do. You got to get stops, consistent stops. So I don't know, the Kings. I mean, that I feel bad for their fan base. They deserve a lot better. I mean, it looked like it was you want to talk about a roller coaster of emotions in the last few years. Like, it looked so promising. It was up here. Then you missed the playoffs, and you missed the play in the following year. Like, you missed the play in after being 3rd in the West, and
taking the Warriors to Game 7.
Yeah, then you clip everybody last year halfway through the season. Fox, Brown, everybody got to go. So I don't know, man. I don't know. Grizzlies. I was the only bright spot with the Grizzlies is Cedric Howard coming in there, rookie, playing some great basketball. That's what they need. That's always what they needed. And I think he's kind of filling that void with Bane being out. That's a real void. KCP is older, so he's not. I don't think he's going to be able to really do that at the level that he used to. So for Coward to come in, being a young player, making shots, his confidence is up. That's perfect for it. That's exactly what the Grizzlies need. Zach Edey's not there. I think that's a factor. I mean, that's a double-double, couple blocks. That's size. Is he? He's not Yao Ming, but he's a presence, and he's a presence in there in the middle. You're thinking twice. You see a dude that's 7'1", 7'3", standing in front of the basket. Like, he's thinking twice. So we'll see what the team looks like when Edey comes back, because Edey's a good screen setter and opens up a lot of opportunities for Ja. Jaren Jackson Jr. He just kind of is what he is at this point. I thought he would take his game to another level after winning Defensive Player of the Year. I thought he would be like in all NBA discussions, more of a scorer. But it kind of just looks like he just wants to be a stretch four, an elite help defending stretch four. And that's cool. And that's fine. That's a great starter. But I don't think he's like he's not a two, or he's not a second option guy. He's not someone that you can give the basketball to go help us go win the game in key situations. If Ja don't have it going, can you go get us 30? Like, he shows flashes of that, but we don't see it consistently enough. And then for him to be a power forward and not be a great rebounder is also not a good sign for me. So good quality starter, really good elite starter, really, really good starter, but like cornerstone piece in terms of like a dynamic duo next to Ja. That's really one of the reasons why the Grizzlies kind of been in a weird spot over the last few years. They haven't found that true running mate next to Ja Morant.
One other team that I do want to mention is the Clippers. I don't know what their standing is, but just one of the teams that we thought would be at least in the play-in. We can't even see them on here as you're scrolling down here. Where are they at? 13 in the West at 3-6. And of course, the Clippers are always going to have some type of injury going on. Bradley Beal right now is day-to-day. Of course, Leonard's out yet again. And of course, it always seems like what can go wrong goes wrong with them. And yeah, I mean, the Clippers are supposed to be there. Like, will they ever get over this hump and have this, I don't know, hex on them to where they can actually win a ring? Because this is probably the team for the past 6 years that should have, or we thought were going to be in the championship or in the finals, and has not made it there for some seeable reason. So, I mean, the roster that you look at, of course, they got Harden, they got Derrick Jones Jr. in the starting lineup, and Zubac, who is good. Of course, they even picked up Brook Lopez, I think, last year. And Chris Paul is back with them. I don't think he's getting much minutes or anything, but they have a decent team. They even got, I think, Chris Dunn and one of the Bogdans. So, I mean, they have a good roster. It's just they never can completely stay healthy. And right now it just seems like they can't win games. I mean, 3-6, yes, we're early. We said it a bunch, but you can't fall too far back at the beginning of the season and play catch up. It's just too tough with load management and everything we got going on nowadays.
Yeah, that last part you said right there is what it is. When your superstar is on load management, and you're in the conference where every win matters, and you just really can't. There's no night where you could just be lackadaisical. It plays a factor. It plays a factor. The Clippers need to get younger. They need to get younger. They need to get younger. If it's a complete disaster this year, I just think they're already in the new arena. It's not like that they're one of these. They've been around for a while, but it's not like they've won a bunch of championships. So I don't think the fan base. It's not like the fan base is going to abandon the Clippers if they start over. And we tried it already. We tried this experiment since year 7 that we're trying the Kawhi Leonard experience. And you haven't really gotten anything except what? one Western Conference Finals appearance. That's it. So, and he didn't even play in that conference finals appearance. It's one of those things where I believe, yeah, if this is a disaster, this really gets out of hand. You just go young. You go young, fire sale, send these guys to some contenders, make it interesting, and start over, because you don't have any draft. You don't really have any draft picks because you gave it all to Oklahoma City and Houston. So why not? And then for the Mavs, like I said, the Mavs they need a point guard. They need a point guard. They need AD. Lively's been hurt. Nico Harrison, looking rough, brother. The ownership might have told you to make the deal. They can still clip you, though. They can still clip you, and it's one of these things where it's like, even if they let him go, what team is gonna? I don't want to say. I don't think he's gonna get blackballed. I don't want to go that far, but because these guys have connections and they have relationships with people that they've known for decades and stuff. It's politics. It's always about who you know. So I don't think he's going to get blackballed from the league. But in terms of like getting another opportunity to run a team again, I don't know. I don't know if he's going to be able to get that opportunity, because he made one of the biggest trades of this century, man, in sports, bro. And then you send him to the Lakers, like, of all teams. You're not even you're the Mavericks. You got one championship.
Yeah, I'm gonna go with you on too. I don't think that he can't find a job elsewhere if he is fired. Obviously, we're not saying fire him, but because technically his move to trade Luka sounded, stupid at the time for sure. But getting AD when he's healthy, he is a top 10, top 15 player for sure. And then to pair him with Kyrie and end up having the first pick overall, which, I think it's rigged in a bit, but, that's my conspiracy. He looked like a genius. It's just, it hasn't panned out yet. Of course, AD is, load management on his own by injuries. So, like, if it's ever together, we could really see his masterpiece. It could be scary.
Yeah, it could be if everything works out and the flag really develops and really starts to take over and understand, like, this is my team. I'm gonna just be aggressive, put my head down, go to the basket, get other guys involved. I haven't seen that yet from him. I kind of just see him really just trying to let the game like come to him as opposed to just going out and just attacking. I think only time will tell truly like what it looks like. I still think he's going to have a successful rookie season. It's just different. It's just going to be different.
Always growing spurts.
Yeah, I don't know if it's going to be genius. I don't know because it was just you knew AD had injury history, so I think it just would have been smarter to get another guard or another young player in that return, knowing that you're trading a guard. Like, you got Christie, but Christie was a role player. Like, he wasn't like a piece that – he wasn't even a piece that I don't think the Lakers really thought that, like, he could develop into something great. Like, that's what you get in a marquee trade. You trade a caliber player of Luka Doncic's caliber. A young player that you're getting is someone that shows some promise, has some really good games, and if given the right opportunity could develop into a something nice, something good. That would make you be like, oh, that was a good trade. But they didn't even do that. Like, you could have got Reeves. I would have asked for AD and Reeves. That would have been the starting point. Like, that would have been the starting point. And then if you say no, then there's nothing else to talk about. Yeah, how do you
we'll keep Luka then,
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. Yeah, we'll just keep Luka. How do you give up Luka and then not get a guard back, another dynamic guard back, not get Reeves? Because now if you had Reeves, it would have been Kyrie, Reeves, Flag. It was like, okay, Like, nice, good backcourt. Flag, filling the voids of doing everything else, slashing, defense, versatility. And then you got your bigs. And Clay, Clay's on a slump right now. Yeah, Clay's on a slump right now, but it would have looked better. Yeah, it would have PJ Washington. It would have looked better. But now you have no shooting guard really. We don't have a shooting guard. You got Flag playing the one, which I don't have an issue with because he should have the basketball in his hands anyway. Like for the most part, at least outside of the point guard, he should be the second guy with the basketball, creating and doing everything else for his squad. So I'm not against him. I'm not against Kidd having Flag play the one. And this is why they're losing some of these games, because it's different. It's not what we were used to seeing over the last few years. It's going to take time. It's a different role, different responsibilities being asked. So like you said, growing pains. I don't know if they're going to give Nico the time to see what this all looks like. Yeah, that's really what it is. Like, I don't know if he's going to have that time. You can have handshake agreements with guys, but if nothing's in writing, if nothing said, even if it is written, you can still find ways and language to get out of things. So he made the move, and whatever the consequences happen from it is what he signed up for. He knew what it was. So I'm not saying I feel bad for him, but we're just gonna see what happens, from what he did.
Yes, absolutely, and I agree with you, of course, on that. Before we do head off here, do want to shout out and say prayers up for the family as Lenny Wilkins has passed away today. Of course, a legend with the NBA. Just happened to see that earlier, but forgot to say it earlier on our show, but had to write it down so I wouldn't forget it. Our condolence to them, their family, and of course, a wonderful player of the NBA, and actually what seems to be, and what I'm seeing on social media, an actual nice guy too, who did not care to share his knowledge with other people. So, of course, prayers up, like I said, to the family on that.
Yeah, prayers up. Lenny Wilkins, legendary head coach, legendary player, so a Hall of Famer. One of the best, definitely. Broke a lot of barriers for Black American head coaches during his time and what he did. So the NBA lost a great. Prayers up to the family and everybody involved.
Well, I believe that actually may be our shortest show we've ever had. So I think it's been great. Very straight to the point on a lot of topics. Hit everything for week 2. Next week, we will be right before Thanksgiving. Of course, we all already shared that. Oh, you actually had it to bring up here. Okay. Passed away at 88. I didn't realize he was 88. I thought he was a little bit younger than that. But who did he coach for?
I believe he coached that Supersonic team.
Okay, that's what I was.
Yeah.
Okay.
That's that Supersonic squad.
I was thinking it was either them or the Hawks for some reason.
And he coached the Knicks. He coached a lot of teams. He was the head coach of a lot of teams. But I think he won the championship with the Supersonics.
All right, CJ, where can everyone find you at and everything that you got going on?
Find me on X at cjames9 _ IG cj.james9. CJ versus the World on YouTube.
Have you been on YouTube in a while?
Like a few weeks ago. I went live. Forever Patriots. We have Forever Patriots. Knicks Boulevard. Making moves, guys. Appreciate you. Appreciate everybody tuning in, man.
We need a schedule of what you're doing now, or the day and everything, because you're pretty much every day now, aren't you?
Yeah, I'm trying to make a schedule myself. Really trying to just figure out what time. Just try to get time together. Let's do it with the Patriots, Knicks, NBA, and then a little bit of gaming too.
I gotcha. Trust me, I get it. Of course, you can find me MDLawson00 on all social media platforms. I do have a second show, Cats Chat, where it's everything Kentucky sports, kind of like CJ said. We do a bunch of stuff. Just last week, if you didn't catch our episode, we had Kentucky starting quarterback Cutter Boley on the episode, which was pretty awesome to get him for us. And, of course, we are on a 2-game winning streak in football. But for Kentucky in general this week, we're 5-0. We won in men's basketball, won in women's basketball, football, and then 2 games in women's basketball. And our volleyball just beat the 13th overall Tennessee Volunteers in a 4 set. So Kentucky, we doing it right now. So check me out on Wednesdays at 9 p.m. We're trying to get the starting running back on this episode coming up this Wednesday, and we'll hopefully be hearing back, see if we can get him on McCowan, who has a wonderful story. He was, you may know him, played for Oklahoma, actually got arrested while in Oklahoma, kicked off the team and everything, and has made his way back playing college football, and really just says, hey, everything that I have has actually been gifted to me to have an extra opportunity, and he's trying to make everything out of it. So good story with that, and can't wait to get him on here, and hopefully we can talk with him on that. But until the next time, guys, you all have a good one. Keep up with the NBA. Shout out to Peacock for having some of the games on there. I love that so much. And you guys have a good one.
See you guys next week. Take care.